I have to unmute everybody. I also have to go pause the stream, otherwise I'm going to hear us echoing.
Yeah, I'm
Hello,
like you.
everybody.
Hello.
We will have a Laura joining us soon.
It was so funny. I was sitting in the backstage for like a hot minute while y'all were talking about me, and I was like, I'm right here.
You must have come in when I had rushed off to use the bathroom because I did not hear the bloop of somebody coming in. But
It's like,
like,
oh, dude, I'm forever backstage.
Did you feel like a ghost?
so I want to say hi to chat. I have hunted and gathered, aka made a frozen pizza. Fair enough. Hey yo. Yes, boop the like button. Storm is on the bed. I'm being ignored. Woe is me. That is generally how it is. Yes. Please hit the like button. Hello. Hello. Hey people. Hierarchy. Let me know if Pacific Rim is too loud. I will request that it be turned down. I also have to make sure I don't get distracted because I enjoy the movie. But, you know, I did order Qdoba. What is Qdoba?
It's like
Is it?
burritos.
Oh, it's burritos?
Yeah, it's like people
How dare you mute me, Phoebe? I should always be loud in your life. So, how has everybody's Storytellers Hearth been so far? We'll do intros after Laura gets here. She had to go off to eat dinner real quick, so I'm gonna wait for her to get back. So we do them all together.
Sounds good.
Like Chipotle, got you. Yeah. So how's everybody been doing? I know this is like our last stream of the night. So how's everyone feeling work wise? Is this going to be our wind down stream? Are we getting ready for bed? How are people feeling? Shannon.
Well, I've been working on my Kickstarter, which is going live on Tuesday. I'm like redoing these graphics here because I'm too much of a perfectionist. So I'm like, it looks good. Nope, I'm back in there. I'm doing it again. So at some point, I want to end. I've got to end tonight because I want to send this out to my newsletter, and because I can send them like a preview link, so they can go in there and they can actually like leave comments on it. So just to see if there's like anything that's like confusing, or if they want to know more about something, or they want to see something else or whatever. So I want to get that sent out tonight because that way they got 2 days to respond before my Kickstarter goes live. Yeah. So I'm doing good. I've been doing fine with this has been great as far as keeping on track with everything.
That's wise. I like that. Alex.
I have gotten my words for the day. That's about all I accomplished this day. I have been a potato. A productive potato, but a potato.
So what are your plans for this stream? Are you gonna like relax, get ready for bed?
I'm gonna relax and probably watch Dance Moms on my phone.
Fair enough. I'm gonna kind of have to go back and forth between taking a break and working on the research because I'm getting the research for my short story. I've already done the short story. It's been through a lot of revisions, some betas, and then I sent it to a sensitivity reader. And while they said that I wrote the PTSD really well, they gave me some resources to read up on it and learn and see if there's anything I think I could add to make it to elevate it any at all. So I will be going between doing that and reading webtoons. So them's my Oh, I need to go in a different tab and set us up a timer. So, yeah. So this is your second Kickstarter, right, Shannon?
Oh yeah, it's my second one.
And the first one was for your first book in this series, and then this one is for your second book in the series?
Yes. Although they're both standalones, but yeah, it's the second book I'm writing in the series. So yeah. I mean, I do set up the plot points for the sequel series that's going to come after this. I have a third book, and then the fourth book will kick off a linear series that has to be read in order, and that's a sequel series. Yeah.
I'm setting up I should have done this before. I'm getting us set up. I should have done this beforehand, but I have not been on the top of my game. It's fine.
Has anyone ever written a non-linear series? I pose that to the chat.
I have written prequels to things, but I have not specifically written a series out of chronological order.
I suppose that would probably be non-chronological. So the first three books of mine are I call it non-linear. I got the idea from an author we interviewed a few years ago. She's actually a best-selling author now. She wrote her first 4 books with 4 friends, and their stories were all happening at the same time. So actually it was 3 friends. Sorry, it was 3 friends. I'm doing 4 brothers. So, but I have 3 brothers whose all their stories are happening at the same time. So there's the same like 30 to 40 day period. I think it's hard. It's so hard. It's harder than writing a series that's like straightforward.
Well, yeah, because you got to keep events and everything straight. Sherilyn Kenyon, I know, especially for her. What is the sci-fi? She has a sci-fi bounty hunter series, and there's a couple of them that like one book will take place over this number of years, and then the books are mostly in order. But then I got to I want to say it was book 25 or something like that, and it goes back to cover time that happens during other books, so that we got the backstory of this one character. So it was it showed events and stuff that I had read in previous books from a different character's perspective, or what this character was doing at the same time these other things were going on. And I thought that was really cool. And so I like when series do that. We're going to go to chat real quick. Lisa said she smashed her goal. Awesome. Jessica's been good while she's been here. Wasn't able to join basically all of the streams today because I went to the toy store. I mean, that's fair. Lisa would like to finish reading another book and also eat some dinner. Well, don't worry, we've got sprints planned. Also do a very small workout. I am here for that. 12:47 for the day, since I've been struggling to write it all for over a week. That's pretty good. Hey, that is a good goal, and I'm glad that you were able to overcome the struggle. Might take this stream to watch stuff and relax. Hey, that's fine. Heather has to write a resolution for a short story to be complete, and prep a veggie plate for her 90th birthday party. Ooh. Well, congratulations to whoever made it to 90. Heather's done videos on how to do a Kickstarter. Wait, have done videos of how to do a Kickstarter on your channel, Shannon. It is something I am thinking possibly doing. Do you have them, or is Heather requesting them?
think she might be asking if I have it because I've been asked this question a few times. So I'm going to assume, and I do have a playlist. And part of that playlist, I have like a 3.5 hour like masterclass, and I broke down like how I set up my story and the psychology that I use from copywriting and just from writing in general to kind of get attention. But yeah, so Heather, if you ever get to a point where you feel like you're going to do one, please reach out to me. I love to help out. I'm not by any means am I an expert. I may fail this Kickstarter. I may not do it, but I have some information, and I do have a document that really helps to ensure that if you do fully fund, that you're not paying people to do your Kickstarter. So it's a document set up with formulas and everything, so that make sure that you're not paying others to do your Kickstarter.
Yeah. RP said, not sure what I'm doing this stream. I know I have to put away my laundry, but outside of that, not a clue. That's fair. That's important. Potions and Pleasure. I love the name. And The Unexpected Night. My two favorite romances start at the same time, but TUK takes a longer time, so it goes past Potions and Pleasure. Gotcha. Oh, TUK is The Unexpected Night. I can catch on with my
I would ask Jessica then, are you a planner? Like, because I think the reason why I found it hard is because I don't plot or plan. I do things in my head, but like when I wrote the first book, I had to know what was going on in the next two books because they're all happening at the same time, especially when the brothers are talking to each other and crossing into each other's storylines. And that was so hard. I don't know if I was a planner or a plotter, that probably would make it easier.
Sorry, I'm requesting. Hey, it's okay. I speak dyslexia, which is why I was like, I'm pretty sure she's planning them, but I didn't want to like misassume that Shanon didn't have them already. So I was like, try to figure out how to ask. You're good.
It's actually on my homepage. The playlist is. I think you have to scroll down a little bit, but there's like four or five videos. But the on Tuesday when I launch my Kickstarter, I don't know if you're going to be around for this, but I am first going to bring on a writing duo. They each wrote a book, but that was in a shared world. They wrote about two brothers and a post-apocalyptic adventure, like slightly romance world. But together, they put together their Kickstarter and they funded really quick, like within the first day. Before the first day was over, they funded. So I'm going to be asking them, tips for Kickstarters and stuff. We'll talk about them writing in a shared world first, and then move into their tips for writing a Kickstarter. So if you're interested in that, that's going to be 2:00 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday.
Hello.
Hi, Laura.
Dinner has been eaten, Roy has been fed, and the dishes are done. It was intense. It was delicious.
I hit so many wrong buttons. It's fine.
Oh.
Jessica said, I'll be honest, when I wrote PNP, TUK wasn't even a thing in my brain. LOL. POP was planned, but when I wrote the Fey Lord's Night Bestie, I loved her so much I plotted a story for her. So it sounds like kind of in between. Like Jessica is a plotter, but this was not planned ahead of time. Then I made sure that the plots for both were organized in a way that they matched up.
Nice.
Makes sense.
I had something I was going to say, and then I got distracted, and now, my brain is trying to grab onto it, but it's fine. Oh, Laura's here, so we should go ahead and do our intros. Laura.
Hi! Sorry I'm late.
You're fine.
We had this garlic shrimp with Chinese 5-spice on it. With rice and lemon and amazing. But anyway, me, not what I ate. I am the author of Tiny Shivers, which is a horror collection. There's 101 stories in here, plus some illustrations that I commissioned. I am currently querying this middle grade horror called Seas of Doubt, where she is literally a plant lady. And then I am working on draft 2 of my vampire romance Crimson Strings. So, yeah, that is me. I have 33 whips. These are just the It's more topical.
33.
I now have a problem.
Are some of them like short
A
stories?
couple of them are
She
short
likes
stories.
she likes a nice whip collection for every occasion.
Some of them are short stories, but some of them are for short story collections. So it balances out.
Do you? Okay, so question real quick before Shannon does her intro. In your mind, when you're counting them as a whip, is each short story its own whip, or is it like these short stories are part of one whip?
So I have some short stories that I started for specific anthologies and never completed them in time. And so I still want to finish them. But they were for specific prompts or themes. And so I want to finish those. But my collections will have a certain theme. And so one of them is called Fall. And so each story will be based on a different definition of the word fall. So there'll be like an autumn one, there'll be a nightfall one, there'll be a siege, fall of a city one. So that one I'm counting as one whip. I've only started on one of the stories in there so far, though, Nightfall, which is about sleep paralysis demons that plague a town. So that's fun. So, like, that one's one, even though I have picked out the different definitions that I've brainstormed. But, like, The Clamoring of Engines is just one short story that was for an anthology that I got distracted. So that one is like a train heist. And I have no idea where it will end up. We'll see.
Fair enough. And Shannon, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Shanon. I write under the name of SC Huston. I have a YouTube channel under the name of SC Huston where I do writing sprints Monday through Thursday. I also have a podcast that's on my channel and all major podcast platforms that we co-host with Ben Pig from Running to Write and Jamie from JM Shelley. And that's the Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks podcast. I'm also part of the AuthorTube Writing Conference, the conference chair and founder, and we're in our 4th year. Within the next couple of weeks, for anyone who has submitted applications, we'll be starting to send out in waves. We do it in waves, those acceptances, because we just sat down and got through all the applications and looked at all the ratings and everything. So doing that. I'm also a fantasy romance author, although I do have a YA fantasy trilogy about Irish mythology that was published a couple years ago, but now I'm in fantasy romance, and I am about to release my second book as a Kickstarter on Tuesday. That is in the link tree. I became a better author from the last time you clicked on my link tree, Sam. It is now in there. My Kickstarter is. So it wasn't there before. She's like, where is it? It's not here. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm bad author. So it is there. Even if you can't support me or any of your favorite creators on Kickstarter, if you go and you follow them before they go live, when it does go live, it kicks them up in the algorithm, gets them more visibility. So even if you can't support them monetarily, it is a great way to go support people that way. So I would appreciate it if anyone would go and support me by following. If you can. You do have to sign up for an account, but it's free. So yeah. And I do have a few whips, but not as many as Laura.
I know.
I like 7 or 8 right now.
I didn't know that Kickstarter tidbit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alyce?
And it's good to try to get up there. I mean, they say 6 months is a good time to get your pre-launch page up. Back when I did my pre-launch page, because it's been up over a year or about a year now, it was just the image, your cover image. But now you can actually have like words with it. But because mine was set up a while ago, mine doesn't have any words with it.
That is unfortunate.
They changed it. Yeah, but yeah, it's been up there. They say 6 months is a good time frame to get your cover up there to get followers. So.
Yeah, generally, from my own research and my discussions, the 6 month timeline for a pre-order marketing campaign is generally ideal, especially if it's book related stuff. Alyce, introduce yourself, my lovely potato.
All right. This potato's name is Alyce Reads, and I do AuthorTube and BookTube content here on YouTube. And I also stream usually Tuesday through Saturday at 7 a.m. EST. And I'm going to continue doing that. It's just this week was a down week. So Sam has left us.
Left the building.
My child was asking who was a potato and why I was calling them a potato. So I was explaining to her, yes, why we sometimes call ourselves potatoes. But I am writing mom Samantha L. Nassett, and on my channel I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer-parent things. Also, a lot of times talk about chronic illness and just how everything works together or doesn't. I do live streams on Mondays where a lot of them are write-ins. Sometimes they're quarterly parties. We also have flash fiction free-for-alls, which we just did one on Monday. And we're doing another one next week. They're really fun. Y'all should come. I also do Whip Wednesdays with CB Friends. This week's is on my channel. Next week's is on hers. It's a 3-hour block where we dedicate to working on our whips only. We're doing a Let's Play stream of Baldur's Gate. Done whatever Fridays we can make work right now. The first episode is up on her channel. And we have a book talk series now where it's a YouTube series where we talk about books that either I enjoy or she enjoys. Our next one is volume 3 of Scum Villain Self-Saving System, which, although there's technically 4 volumes, volume 3 is the finale of the plot. Volume 4 is a compilation of short stories. So, yeah.
For some reason, I assumed it was going to be like 12 volumes long.
Nay, it is 3. Well, the plot is 3. It is 4 because all the extras and stuff are compiled in the book 4. RP, this call out for the fact I have not done my intros on my regular streams. This is uncalled for, sir. My bad, it is next month, not next week. So Kickstarter. Oh my god, what was the other one? GoFundMe. Kickstarter is like GoFundMe, except it's like set up for, like, it's more for indie companies and small creators to try to set up and get funding for projects. At least that is how I have always been associated with it. So, like, I've backed Kickstarters for Critical Role, for Girls Have a Blog, Romancylvania is another Kickstarter I backed, and there's like different tiers that you can back. So, and depending on what tier you back, you get, I don't want to say perks. You get certain perks associated with those.
It's called rewards on
it is called rewards? Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
Indiegogo is perks.
Okay.
So, but I would say it's only very similar to GoFundMe. GoFundMe is you get whoever funds you, you get the money. In Kickstarter, you have to get fully funded for your goal or you don't get any money. Yeah. So slightly different model. It's a little more nerve-wracking.
Well, also, I don't think
if I kept my goals 1,000.
Yeah, I don't think GoFundMe has the rewards or perks system.
No.
Either. Yeah.
Is it just like a one because someone just puts their goal up there, hey, I'm trying to do an audiobook, I need this much money, and then people just give you money and you get it as they give it to you.
So with
that's why I said it's similar, but like it's not I said it more as a starting point for if you like know what GoFundMe is. It's like GoFundMe, but also
it's a crowdfunding source.
Yes, a crowdfunding.
Yeah, because both are crowdfunding sources.
So each creator gets to develop whatever tiers they want. So if they are trying to launch a book, you can either back where you just want the audiobook, where you want the audiobook and the paperback. You want the special edition hardcover with the not for safe work art. Like there's a whole shebang that each creator can do, and it's really cool. I've backed quite a few anthologies that way, and some comic books that way.
Yeah,
you
can get tarot decks that way.
I'm excited.
There's a game that's made fantasy, almost like D&D, and I just backed that one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see self-published authors get more into Kickstarter and stuff because like I said, it like originally most of the people on Kickstarter were small, like indie gaming companies and comic book artists and stuff, which is great. But like to see authors getting on there now too, I'm like, yes, because I am firmly, and I know a lot of people don't agree, but I am firmly one that does not believe a book is a finished product unless you have a professional edit and cover. So like I believe these are investments that you need to make for your book. And unfortunately, it is a little gatekeepy, but like that's how it is in the professional industry. There are certain gates there for a reason. And so I love that Kickstarter is a way and an opportunity for people to be able to earn those resources to make the finished product. So
And that was the whole reason why I started doing it, because my fantasy trilogy, I did all the things you're supposed to do to make sure. I ended up doing my own covers because I liked mine better than the cover designer I hired. And I did hire one, but all the money I put into it, the editing, all that, I'm $4,000 in debt. It's going to be like years before I make it.
I want to say that is unfortunate, not because of any like shade towards your covers, just because if you hire a professional, you would expect them to do good quality. But yes, sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's okay. And she had done covers for other authors. That's how I reached out to them. Who's your cover designer? And so I got the cover designer from them, but I just didn't like the one she made for me. And so yeah. But I was $4,000 in debt, and so I'm going to be 80 years old before I paid off, because I make very little money on that every month. And yeah, and I was like, I'll continue writing. I'm never going to stop writing. I love writing. That's just part of my soul. But publishing may not happen. And that's why I decided to try Kickstarter. I was like, okay, because it's also, I mean, there's so many benefits to Kickstarter. And one of it is social proof. It's also proof of your concept, because you can put it up there and people like it and they back it. That means your concept is working. And so now you're getting that proof of concept before you're publishing it on a retailer platform and just putting it out there to see who's going to buy it, So, yeah.
And then you can use, like, if you put your price point high enough, you can use that money to go to paying for an editor or paying for the printing and whatever else you need.
Yeah. That was my goal, where I had set my first Kickstarter. I was like, I just want to pay for the expenses to create my next book. And I actually had enough to pay for my next book, 2 book covers. So
that's awesome.
Awesome.
CB wants to reassure the other MXTX gets more. I'm so jelly. I think it's more love or volumes than that's
Probably volumes.
Yes. Oh, speaking of Critical Role, their new game is coming out in May. I'm so excited. Nice. Girls Have a Blog. I forgot about them. I loved that comic on Webtoon back in the day. Yes, they also had a Girls Have a Blog goes to college and stuff. And like the post-pandemic days, it was a ride. Heyo, JK. It's going well. Yeah. I'm glad you agree. Unsure what this is from, but it's all good.
I think it's the other MXTX gets more content.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. Laura connected our dots. We are 30 minutes in.
ADHD!
So I'm going to go ahead and put this right there. And we shall, as soon as I find the correct tab, go into our first sprint. Okay. 3, 2,
I'm going to walk Roy. I should be back.
3, 2, 1, go. And we're back.
Hello.
I have our next timer prepared now. So, how did everybody do that sprint? I got through another section in most of the second one. I'm on page 12 of 43 now. I've been saying there's 45 pages this whole weekend. There's only 43. I am a liar, a fraud, but I hope you'll all
A
forgive me.
scoundrel.
A scoundrel even.
A nerf herder, if you will. I went downstairs to walk Roy. Apparently, he had been annoying my parents, so my dad walked him for me before I even got downstairs. And so then we cleaned out part of a cabinet in the garage so I could put my art supplies out there. So my bookbinding and painting and comic making stuff is all on these 2 shelves in a cupboard in the garage now.
Nice.
So our table is being cleared. So we can eat dinner at a table in the living room instead of the dining room now.
That was their real motivation for helping you.
They're like, we need our table back. It's been 12 hours.
Still working on my Kickstarter. So
Alyce?
I played around on Spirit City, redecorated a whole room, and that's pretty much it. I didn't even watch Dance Moms like I said I was.
You just want to go to bed, Alyce. It's okay.
No.
She's just like, I refuse. But don't.
I have things I need to do.
What things do you need to do?
I need to edit 2 videos. One needs to go out tomorrow.
I see.
But then I'm like, do I really want to do it?
Well, you need to do it.
It's totally. I have gone for months without posting a video.
Oh, we're not even gonna
I
talk
posted
about
Big Supper.
Months.
Well,
no.
I have some unfortunate news. The Huston is now showing the first symptoms of the stomach flu, so that's not good. He's probably going to be down for the count in less than an hour, because like once the first symptom shows, it hit pretty hard for the rest of us. So
Oh no.
yeah, I mean, at least he has the weekend off, but it also sucks that his days off, he's sick. So
Oh yeah.
I was teasing him. I was like, "You can't get sick till I'm 100% better. Only one of us can be down." CD forgot we were here. Rude. How dare. She started laundry though, so that's good. Wendy got a little more done and now thinks she's at a good place to stop for the night because it should be easy to start there tomorrow. That's awesome. Smashed the last 734 words, completing the first draft of the Beltane anthology. Nice.
Yay for finishing a story.
Got most of the laundry folded and put away. Sweet. Bed is an option. Apparently it is not an option, for she has videos to finish. But we'll just have to push her to finish those videos so she can go to bed sooner. Jessica had us muted. We're forgotten. We're muted. No respect. Did nothing that sprint, but putting the kiddo to bed is a task though. Like that's not nothing.
Especially when they are the type that keep getting up. Like, I put you to bed. Stay in bed.
I don't know if I misheard you or you misspoke, but it sounded to me like you said the kite, and I know you meant to say the type, but then you said the kite that keeps getting up, and I was like, oh, kites is fitting this here. No, another fall into the sickness. I know. It's terrible. Right, it should be a universal law in nature that nature understands. But it's okay. It's not like we can control it, because if we could, I would just not. Gotten to the part in like the trauma research where I'm reading some of the things and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I've definitely had that. And I'm like, I don't like it being explained to me. Like, I don't like this understanding. So
Bringing unwanted self-awareness.
yeah, like one of the things I'm looking at is like trauma bonding, which I never thought about it, but specifically trauma bonding like happens when like the perpetrator like you bond with the perpetrator over mutual trauma that you've experienced, and then because of this bond they gain a little bit of power over you when they kind of like exploit it a little bit. And I'm like, oh no, I've definitely trauma bonded before. Like, no, that's not fun. How dare. So rude. But it's fine. Like, to be clear, I'm not being triggered. I'm just offended at the call out. That's how I choose to live my life. It's just to be offended instead.
As Steve would say, the kettle calling the kettle kettle.
Yeah. I'm in this picture and I don't like it. I also got one of those squishy, stretchy balls that goes back to being a ball, and I've been playing with it since we left the store.
Have you been having a ball?
Here, hand me your bowl. I'll put it up during the next sprint. I gotta go to the bathroom anyway. My child was just holding out the finished bowl of oatmeal, and then my puppy is sitting like right in front of her, just staring at the bowl. Like, what do I do with the bowl? So,
just licking their chops, as dogs do.
She has, for a 1-year-old dog, she has really good self-control when it comes to food. This does not mean that she's not going to stare at you and get her muzzle as close as absolute possible in the hopes that you will give her some.
Roy has no self-control.
Lisa also muted us. No, it was 30 minutes. I will be doing 30-minute sprints. So that's easy for me to remember because I'm like, okay, 30 minutes per hour. And then like we're good. I can always math whether or not I've done the sprint and whatnot. But I feel that.
So Shannon, I have a question for you. When you do a Kickstarter, how far along in the book, developmental wise and drafting wise, are you before you post it?
I had sent it off to my first round of readers, so my alpha readers, before I posted it, thinking I was going to get through it quickly, and I didn't. And I thought it was running about 6 months, but it was really a year before I got through all the readers and redoing. And then I also hired a developmental editor to help me with the beginning of the book. So, yeah, because it didn't hit as well with my readers as the first book.
It happens.
Good to know. It's like you get proof of concept when you post it, but you should know that, like, do you have the synopsis? Is it art drafted? Like,
Yeah. Well, I create my own book description when I give it to my readers, but it's never great. But I hire out for the book description, the official one. But I don't do it until after I go through all my readers in case if the story changes.
Right.
So,
That's wise.
Yeah.
Lisa said, "Rip to me," and that sprint. I ate dinner in red, and I had no idea how long for. Hey, dinner is always important. Like
one thing I will say to answer for Laura, I have seen projects put up where the authors have said, "I'm still writing this book," or "It's not done yet," and those don't typically get funded.
Okay.
So the backers do like to know you're done with the story.
Yeah, I was I have not done a Kickstarter, but I have done a lot of research on Kickstarters and stuff, and I've, funded them and seen everything. Also plan to do my own in the future. So, but still, everything with a grain of salt, as I always encourage everybody. Unfortunately, books not the same as video games and stuff, and even with like video games and comics, in order for backers to feel confident that they are going to get a finished product and that they're not going to get like disappointed. Like, it's not just about the financial investment, especially since I think some projects and stuff, it's like if the project is unfinished, you get a refund. But like there's also an emotional investment for a lot of them. They need that confidence that this is going to be a finished thing. And so like for like a lot of games, they have to at least be at the demo stage. And for comics, they have to at least be at the like pretty much done. So I would say for a novel to be completely through the manuscript and the beta, I think it's justifiable to not have gone through the editor yet if you're using the Kickstarter to fund the editor, but to be transparent about that and to add that into your timeline, to like let your backers know, hey, I'm using this Kickstarter to fund getting a professional cover and getting a professional editor. And so this would be my timeline after that. And then even you could be like, and you'll get like sneak peeks, or you'll get a little bit of a preview or something of like, you'll get to see the professional cover like before it's announced anywhere else and stuff like that. So I think it is justifiable to not be through that phase, but you need to, in my opinion, you need to at least be ready for the editor before you start the Kickstarter.
I would also look by your genre because each genre is slightly different. In fantasy romance right now, what's blowing up big that's not in fantasy, in the fantasy section, is that they want a pretty cover. They want the pretty pages. They want that. And I'm looking at all the different ones, and the ones that don't have that are not getting fully funded, or they're like struggling to get there.
Yes.
They need the sprayed edges and stuff.
Or sprayed edges is a lot, and the only one that really does it with POD is over in the UK. Otherwise, it's as far as cheaper, but that still costs prohibitive. And so, but what you can do is what's called printed edges. So there are people, and so I had this professionally done. I gave them my completed PDF of my book, and they coded the outside of the PDF. So when I send it to Ingram Spark, it's going to print a picture, and I'm not doing a picture, I'm just doing a solid color, but you can also do a picture on the edges. So when you close the book, it looks like something's there.
That's cool.
And that was like $125 for a solid color. If I wanted an actual picture, it's a couple $100. So,
yeah. It's
good to know.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
It's like,
definitely.
I'm debating.
I'll let you go in a second. Yeah, definitely to add to what Shanon says, always, always, always do your own research, and definitely research your genre and your medium, especially since like it's gonna change a lot, right? Like Shanon said, right now what's really big is those edges and everything, and for the genre. And that might change by the time you're ready to do your Kickstarter. There might be something else. So definitely, you're good. Definitely in the window that you're planning to like do your Kickstarter, do your research to see like what what's the half now, basically.
And to support that, when I did my first Kickstarter, the printed edges, the sprayed edges, the painted edges, none of that was like a thing. Like a couple people were doing it. It was not a thing when I was doing my first Kickstarter, and now it is. So
Yeah, because like those used to only basically be fan made or special limited editions. I didn't like know that you could just do that now. So
yeah.
It's like,
go ahead, Laura.
I'm debating on whether I should query this. I don't know if there's a traditional market for it, because it is male vampires.
I promise you,
and so it's like,
there's a market for it. Whether or not traditional publishing companies will tap into that market is the question, unfortunately.
exactly. So it's like, do I try and query it, or do I go the Kickstarter route and try and do it that way? It's
emotionally, if you can handle the rejection, I would at least attempt to query it. And maybe
I have been querying this one for 2 years.
I'm just saying, I'd query it for like a couple, like 6 months maybe, and then be like, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
I would say that it's probably time frame of where you want to feel your emotions, because querying can take a while, a couple years. If you're doing your Kickstarter, if you're only doing 6 months out, the closer you get, you're going to be feeling very, very, very anxious, because if you don't fully fund, you don't get any of that. Now you've put all this time and effort into getting this stuff done. Like I've already paid for a lot of stuff. And if I don't get fully funded, then it's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Have you found that after doing a Kickstarter, so after you do your Kickstarter, do you put it on Amazon?
Yeah, my goal, and I'm going to continue this way, is I first put it on my website. So I put it on my website, my direct sales, and I got a few sales that way for 2 months before I released it on retailer platforms.
Yeah, like correct me if I am wrong, but Kickstarter is essentially like a pre-order service, and then projects go from Kickstarter to retailers via the timeline of their creator's decision.
So,
well, I've been following some of the like Insta-Love groups, and a lot of them will post like chapters on Ream or Patreon or whatever, and then they will do deluxe hardcover paperback editions on Kickstarter where you can get the illustrations and stuff. So they already have their audience that has been doing the chapter by chapter, and they all just fled over to Kickstarter.
That was actually my publishing plan. Was I was going through Ream first, then Kickstarter, but I'm not finding that Ream is really working for me. So, but what I would also say with like what talking about putting it on the retailer website. So this goes back to your audience. The audience on Kickstarter, they're wanting something that nobody else has. So if you've already published it on a retailer website, then if you're offering it to them on Kickstarter, it has to be something like a special edition. The whole, all the bells and whistles. It has to be something different. So,
yeah. Makes sense.
And I would say those are probably the ones that do really well, are like those who are like republishing, they'll do an omnibus and they'll do a special edition omnibus. Those do really well.
Yeah, because there's because with those ones, like Laura was saying, they have the built-in audience and everything, and then it's just a lot of people who are fans of things like having special versions of things. So
yeah.
I wouldn't know that. Don't look at my bookcases.
We would know nothing about that.
2 or 3 copies of the same book.
I myself am not guilty of that at all. No one in this house owns 4 or 5 different printing editions of Sailor Moon and The Legend of Zelda. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start our next sprint, mainly because I have to do stuff, but also because we should be sprinting. Yes, hand me the other, but I have errands to run. Okay. All right. Lisa,
edit your video.
Set
Alyce.
your timer. Yes, Alyce, edit your video. You're tired and you need to get it done. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello, we're back. I'm gonna go select our final timer real quick. So how did everybody do that sprint? I will just say there was some discussion in chat, and I made the comment that they're Laura's timers, so if she copyright claims me, we will go to war. And Lisa's trying to instigate that by saying copyright claim me for the bit. Do not do such. 3 copyrights and they take down your channel. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So
Ew.
I'm gonna assume Laura's not that mean. But yeah, so how did everybody do that spring?
I did well. I am part of a writing battle that's going on right now.
Speaking of war.
Our stories were due like February 9th, and we're doing rounds of putting them against each other and voting.
Mm-hmm.
So there were over 1,000 stories in this. So I only have to judge 10.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, it's intense. But yeah, the prize money will be nice. Right? Whoever gets it, it'll be nice.
Nice.
So yeah.
I have just a couple more things. I'll be done with my Kickstarter and I can send out my email. I'll probably be able to do that. We've got another sprint, right? So I should be able to get it done on the next sprint.
We've got another 30-minute sprint coming.
Yay. I'm like almost there. A couple more things. So.
Sweet. Alyce, did you edit your video?
It's just not my day. So I got about 5 minutes into my video and then the hubby calls me and now I have to watch him play the game.
Well,
So
you got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes in. It's better than nothing. The event's going good for most everybody I've heard from. You know, we understand that life is life in there, Stephanie. Jessica didn't write anything in Krampus, but did get the blog post up on their website and made a visual. Awesome. Sorry, I'm fighting weird hiccup burps. CB's rereading the fic because she left off on chapter 8, and now there's 36 chapters. Almost back. Well, that happens sometimes. I'm kidding, I swear. Are you, Lisa? No, I'm kidding. I'm cheesing. I did my tiny workout in like 7 minutes of reading. Okay, but that worked out.
Nice.
Sometimes. So hard to do. RP accomplished hot cocoa, and now I'm jealous. And then started figuring out how he wants to rewrite the very ending scene of his whip, because he knows it needs work. That's fair. Also, RP, do you have the application, your beta application done? Is it up anyway? Because I know you were getting ready for betas. That was my break stream because I'm trying to not overdo it. So I read part of the webtoon Reporting for Duty, Duchess, and I absolutely adore the dynamics of everyone in that webtoon. It's just so great, especially the Duchess and her assassin sidekick. He is just the definition of chaotic neutral, and I love him. They're like, some sketchy people are trying to like get her attention, and so she has Nathan go behind them, and she's like, you know, tell us who sent you or something, and Nathan's like, hey, why don't we just kill one and send the other one back with their hand? Like, he's like, I think that'll be good. And she's like, all right, yeah, go ahead. You have more arm strength, so I'll let you do it. And then, the guards, they're all like, no, this is who sent us and everything. And then, like, afterwards, he's all like, man, I was really surprised when you told me to go ahead and do it. And she's like, oh, I didn't mean it. I figured that they would just do that. And he's like, oh, but I meant every word. And then, like, her secretary, he's all like, do you think that we should, like, try to teach him morals and humanity? And she's like, no, it's too late for that. I love them. They're great.
Nice.
Stephanie got some cold ice water, heated up pizza in the microwave, and is now deciding if I should read or write. Follow your heart. RP hasn't done the application yet. Not sure if I want to do an actual form for interest or let my DMs them DM me if they're interested. That's fair. Both are valid forms of recruiting papers. I swear I can speak.
Speaking is overrated.
Yes, we should all just learn telepathy.
Rose for that Full Metal Alchemist scene where he has the gauntlet. Like, brother telepathy!
RP is going to work on the beta thing either tomorrow at the bookstore or during the Monday stream. Fair enough. I am still envious of RP just gets to go work in bookstores and coffee shops so often. I want to
One day, I'm going to be at an airport. Woohoo.
Where are you flying to, if we may ask?
Boston.
What's in Boston, other than
My
lobsters?
sister.
Ah, my sister visit.
Her name's Rachel. So it's me, her, and then the one that's married with kids, and then my brother is married. So the youngest two are married. The oldest two, we're just bachelorettes.
And that's fine. My middle sister is, she refers to herself as the forever aunt. And that is how she lives her life, and we support this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have the intrusive urge to take this highlighter and put a mark on my child's head. And what's really funny is she was just laying down watching Godzilla till I said I have the intrusive urge, and then she looks up at me suspicious. So,
You know,
she knew.
she's lived with you too
She
long.
sensed it that I wanted to do something. I can't help it. I have intrusive urges to mess with my children all the time, and they are aware of this. Only going once a week on Sunday, and I don't even get to go every week. But that's still more often than me. But also, I think you're right. I think I'm like merging you with somebody else in the chat who goes to coffee shops. So either way, I'm jealous. I desire to do this, but we don't really have it. See, here's the problem. Like, I do have the car before the afternoon, but I don't really have anywhere I could go to do that. Maybe Books a Million.
The library.
The library's a half hour away, Laura. Like, yeah. It's not that there are no locations. It's just that all of the locations I could do that on are the other side of town, and I cannot justify the gas to do that. Looking at old pics of me with a fuck-ass bob. I've never heard of that particular style of bob. Not going to the bookstore next weekend because I'm building an entertainment center for the office. Those are two very different activities.
Do you have any favorite DVDs or Blu-rays you're going to put in it?
Yeah, what's going in the entertainment center? Or is it for video games? He's gonna come back with like, that's gonna be for his indoor herb garden.
Something totally unrelated.
It's for the
Yes.
It's for the basil.
Well, RP is he's our plant guy. He went to
Yeah.
college and stuff for it. I want to go to the coffee shops more. My new phone makes it easy, and I have wonderful downtown area 5 minutes away from me with a quaint cafe with good coffee. I am very jealous of this, Jessica. Also, do you write on your phone? Is that how your new phone makes it easier? If not, please explain to the confused Sam, because I don't know. And yet I never get that plot twist.
I would walk to coffee shops in Toronto quite a bit. It was nice.
I would love a coffee shop within walking distance. Although it would be really funny to have a coffee shop within walking distance of my house because I live very deep in a residential area. Like it is a mile and a half to get out of my residential area.
My favorite one was a 3-minute walk away. And they had the best hot apple cider during the winter.
Oh my god, I love hot apple cider. Well, I guess cold apple cider is just apple juice with cinnamon.
With spices.
Yeah. Indoor herb garden, not a bad idea, but no, not enough sun comes inside the house for that. See our plant guy looking at it practically. I noticed he avoided our other questions about what is going in the entertainment center. That's fine. Keep your mystery. I'm messing with my
It's a gardening simulator game or something.
Did you say it's a drug simulator game?
Garden simulator
Oh,
game.
okay. Oh, Stardew Valley.
I get it.
Or fuck, what is that one that came before Stardew Valley? Harvest Moon.
Oh my gosh, I remember Harvest
Which,
Moon.
which let me tell you, I've never played a Harvest Moon in my life, but I've played so many hours of Stardew Valley. I have Nintendo Online. I went to play, and they have Harvest Moon on there. So I was like, all right, let me give Harvest Moon a try. It is just Stardew Valley. I was like, oh my gosh. When people say Stardew Valley is just Harvest Moon, they're not lying. I mean, like, it's a lot more now, but when it first came out. Okay, so Jessica does write on her phone. We got the Samsung Fold Z6, which opens like a book to be a small tablet. I've been using it to write with a Bluetooth keyboard and ellipsis. I believe you just got the phone and set it up like within this past week, because I remember you talking about it in chats. I have a question because the big thing I've seen about the Samsung Folds is that the middle wears down, but I also read somewhere that if it just if a line just appears from normal wear and tear, they replace it. Do you know if this is the case? I've been in this house for almost 5 months and I haven't set up my TV or game console yet, so I'm putting those in it as well as all of the books on my TV are not within easy reach. Mine is over there. That's like my TBR, and then the book I'm actually reading is right here. So
Are they staring at you, guilting you?
a little bit. This one I really wanted to finish this one this week, but then like I got the stomach flu and I was like, I don't want to infect the book. So then I was avoiding the book. But I'm better.
You're contaminated with wood lice.
Well, like I was like, see, I'm not as worried about the outside because the outside is plastic wrapped, and I can just take like a disinfectant wipe to it. But I'm like, if I actually hold the pages and read them and stuff while I have the flu, then whoever reads the book next may get infected. And I'm like, I would feel so bad about that. So I'm just not touching it. So I'm better. because my TBR will stare at me and remind me to get off the PlayStation after a little while and be productive. It's also free up space in my actual bookcases. That's great. I now kind of just imagine that our RP sitting there trying to like get through a level of something, and the TBR has like this little intrusive halo around it, going, "RP, read." Well, I would love to know one way or the other, if you know. Just you do have extensive protections on it just in case, and if it's something like that, it would be a manufacturer thing and not an accidental damage. Okay, cool. Because like I kind of want one, but at the same time, unsure. I'm very hard on phones. If I need phones that last and can take a beating. And okay, it should be covered. See, that's what I had heard. But
I jumped from the iPhone 6 to the iPhone 12,
you don't.
and I still don't know when I'm ever going to get a new phone. Maybe the 18. We'll see. I'll just go by 6s.
Every 6 phones, Laura updates.
Exactly.
I
had to because we had to work from home from COVID. And so we had to have authenticator apps on our phone to get the passcodes to remote log into the work computers across the city. And my phone was so old, it didn't support those apps.
Oh, no.
Dang it.
Yeah, I tried to keep my phone until it dies. Although recently I have actually been wanting a new phone just because I keep running into memory issues with this one. I did, however, do a deep dive through my files and found some really like old and rather large files that I didn't need or want anymore, and I deleted those, and it hasn't been as big an issue, but still an issue. Do I have the Note 9? Okay, yes, I have the Samsung Note 9. I don't know how old it is, though. It came out in 2018. Oh, damn. That means I've had this phone for 7 years. Because
Yeah,
this is
the 13 had just come out when I got the 12.
yeah, this is the first time I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and get the newest one because I used to try. I'd like, yeah, I'll just get a model or two behind. But then, like the last time I did that, when my phone needed something, it was like, no, we don't support this model anymore. And I was like, that's rude. I just got this phone. So I'm like, fine, I'll get the newest one. And it has served me well for the past 7 years. It's charming. But yeah, so I forget how long I've had this phone quite often. I don't know if it's the way that my like southern brain quantifies time because I'm like, yeah, no, I got this phone recently. Recently being a decade ago.
What is time?
Relative.
Is it a cousin?
Yes. Time is my great uncle twice removed. Stevie needs a new phone. You do. Your phone may be as old as mine. I can hear all the TBRs crying out, read me. In my defense, my TBR is mainly your favorites readathon ones, and I'm mostly done with them. I usually have my phones for years before or beyond when they tell me to upgrade, so I treat my phones pretty good. I only get new ones when I don't have much of a choice. Same. Yeah, she went to sleep, which is fine. Why are you looking at me like that? Huh?
I got loose there.
You have a loose tooth? Another one? How many baby teeth you got left?
I don't know.
Count them for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know.
Yeah. She was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know.
Do you want to see something cute?
Is it a Roy? I would love to see a Roy.
Oh, he was a pancake.
He said no.
Now he's a log. He went from pancake to log.
He, much like my child, sensed when you were about to do something.
Roy. You want to sit on my lap? Yeah.
Lisa's computer's 7 years old and needs a new computer, which, like, having originally, like, come from an era where computers lasted 15, 20, well, not 20, but like 10, 15 years. And then now it's like computers, it feels like technology's only built to last like five years. And it's like, nope, it's outdated. It's wild.
I mean, it's like we have a washer and dryer that lasted like 20 years, and I know this new one we got will probably only last like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching a video of this guy who cleans houses.
Yes.
And he was helping them clean for free. And they had a 1940s washing machine or dishwasher that still worked. And they gave it to him. Like, yeah, you could just take it. It still works. He's like, I just want it as a set piece.
Nice.
Like, it was built to last, man. That's 80 years.
That is.
85.
Like, it's still kicking.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my big dog was just adorable because she was stretching and she did a little.
Those tired eyes. I cut his eyelashes so they're only half as long and they're still super long.
My hubby hates my computer, and I'm finally at the point where I admit I might need a new one that's fair. I am usually lovingly bullied into getting new technology by my hubby. I am going to go ahead and get our last sprint going.
Sounds good.
3, 2, 1, go. I said go. Heyo. I just have to share this, to me, hilarious thing that just happened. So, in like, I spent about half of that sprint taking more notes and stuff, but then my eyes kind of start a little fuzzy, and I'm like, okay, that's enough for the night. So I went back to reading webtoons, and they're like the wyverns now, and the knights are like, oh no, it's Whitney, your grace, the wyvern leader is going for Whitney, and I'm sitting here going, who the fuck is Whitney? And then like in the comments, somebody went, I don't know who Whitney is, but I'm suddenly very concerned for Whitney. I was like, I'm glad I'm not the only one who doesn't remember Whitney.
Nice.
Yeah. How did everybody sprint? We'll go real fast and then we'll do our outros.
I read Bleach fanfic.
That's fair. That's research for your current.
It is research, actually. It's the correct pairing.
Shannon, how close are we to finishing the Kickstarter?
I am not completely done, but I'm at a point where I'm done enough that I can send it. I just sent it off. I did the email and everything, sent it out to my newsletter subscribers to get their feedback. So there's a few more things I want to add and tweak, but like it's kind of complete at this point. I mean, almost complete. So yeah,
It is
enough that you can.
Yeah.
It is completed. It is just not polished.
right. Well, I mean, so there's 3 things that you add onto there when you're trying to sell items. So you have your individual items, and that's just a list of all your items and pictures and stuff. Then you have your tiers, and then you have your add-ons. And I don't have the add-ons all in there yet, but I have all the items. All I have to do is just pick that item and then give it a price. Pick that item, give it a price. Pick that item, give it a price. So I mean, it's not much left, but yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Awesome. All right, chat real quick. There was some discussion of old appliances and appreciation of the dog cam. Jessica made this congregation horrible people in pretty close. What? Lazar looking at the list of their misdeeds as they walk by him, and it's not a fun one. There's even arson and embezzlement. As one do.
Lazar is a Krampus.
So I knew she was writing a Krampus thing, and I figured Lazar was a character in the story she was writing, but until you said that, did not connect these were the same things. So I appreciate that. 516 words for that sprint. Finished chapter 3. Nowhere near as many words as I wanted to get, but 869 words for the day is better than nothing. It is. Got another hot cocoa. Finished figuring out how I want to re-rake into the scene. Awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do our outros because the husband is going downhill. So I want to go ahead and wrap up and everything so I can start taking care of everyone. Laura, you go ahead and go first.
I'm Laura Nettles. I mostly write horror, although I am branching out. And I stream fairly often all over the place. I will be out of town, though, this coming week from Monday night to Saturday. So I will be incognito, living it up in Boston. So it's going to be great. I'm going to get sister hugs. Yeah. And we might actually do a day trip out to Salem, which I've never been.
That could be fun.
Yeah. So I'm excited. That's where I'll be. Please.
Thank you.
My turn.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Shannon. Rant and Opinion of SC Houston, and I'll be actually doing a stream tomorrow. 2 of them actually. Mine will be first, and then I'll be on somebody's afterwards. Whoever's after me. So, which is the last
Oh
one.
yeah.
Natalie is after you.
Who? Say again.
I'm on
Natalie.
Natalie's
It is.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right, Natalie. I was like, I know it, but I lost it. But I know.
Finally, I will also be on yours and Natalie's stream tomorrow.
So there we go. Hopefully, I might be at the place where I'm writing for the first time, and like I have not written like almost 2 weeks. I'm ready to write again. So,
Awesome.
but yeah. So thank you so much for having me on, Sam.
No problem. I always enjoy.
And of course, it's always
streaming
wonderful
with
to
you.
stream with Laura and Alyce.
And we 3 will get to stream together again during the final sprint stream of the Storytellers Hearth, so that'll be fun. And I am Writing Mom Samantha Ellen Nassett, where on my channel I talk about writer things, writer-parent things, and how they work together or don't work together. Like tonight, when I have to put the writing aside to take care of the sick fam. Life, whether we want it to or not. Thank you all for joining us. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays. Just subscribe to stay up to date on when I stream. I unfortunately have been canceling more streams this year than previously, but I always let everybody know via my community post if that happens. So, like I said, subscribe and you get to stay up to date. And we will see everybody hopefully tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.